Welcome to our channel Share Market Updates. This video is on highlights of share market on 8th February 2023. NASDAQ is 1.4% down. Dow Jones is 0.52% down. Sensex closed 0.63% up. Nifty 50 closed 0.85% up. Adani Ports&SEZ closed 8.33% up. Adani Power closed at upper circuit. Adani Wilmar closed at upper circuit. Adani Transmission closed at upper circuit. Adani Green closed at lower circuit. Adani Enterprises closed at 20.04% up. Adani Total Gas closed at lower circuit. AC Ltd closed 1.02% down. Ambuja Cement closed 0.16% up. Nifty Metal and Nifty Pharma were market drivers. There were 1,237 advanced shares against 780 declining shares on NSE. Top gainers were Adani Enterprises Paytm, Zomato, Adani Ports Policy, Bazaar, Aurobindo Pharma, elgiequip, Max Financial, hdfc Life, Sonata Software, Adani Trans, Adani Wilmar, JK Cement, Motherson, Sumi. Top losers were Adani Total Gas, Adani Green, TTML, Bennett Dynamics, Full Wellspun, India Power Grid, Coal India. Most buzzing topic of day is RBI Monetary Policy Committee meeting outcome. The Reserve Bank of India on Wednesday raised the repo rate by 25 basis points to 6.50%. The decision on the rate hike by the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank was taken on a 4-2 majority. Key points. Stance. The MPC decided by a majority of 4 out of 6 members to remain focused on the withdrawal of accommodation to ensure that inflation remains within the target going forward while supporting growth. Inflation. Core inflation remains sticky. While inflation is expected to moderate in 2023-24, it is likely to rule above the 4% target. Inflation is expected to average 5.6% in Q4 of 2023-24, while the policy repo rate is 6.50%. Growth. The available data for Q3 and Q4 of 2022-23 indicates that the economic activity in India remains resilient. The expected higher Rabi output has improved the prospects of agriculture and rural demand. A sustained rebound in contact-intensive sectors should support urban consumption. Broad-based credit growth and the government's thrust on capital spending and infrastructure should bolster investment activity. The real GDP growth for 2023-24 is projected at 6.4%, with Q1 at 7.8%, Q2 at 6.2%, Q3 at 6.0%, and Q4 at 5.8%. Liquidity. The system liquidity remains in surplus, though of a lower order compared to April 2022. In the period ahead, while higher government expenditure and the anticipated return of forex inflows are likely to augment systemic liquidity, it would get modulated by the scheduled redemption of LTRO and TLTRO funds during February to April 2023. External sector. The current account deficit for the first half of 2022-23 stood at 3.3% of GDP. The situation has shown improvement in Q3-2022-23 as imports moderated in the wake of lower commodity prices. Resulting in the narrowing of the merchandise trade deficit, the CAD is expected to moderate in second half of 2022-23. Gilt market. In its move towards normalizing liquidity and market operations, the RBI has decided to restore the trading hours in the government securities market to the pre-pandemic time period of 9 to 5 p.m. Further, the central bank has proposed to permit lending and borrowing of government securities, which will augment the existing market for special repos. SKF India said its consolidated net profit grew 31% to 116.67 from 88.79 crore in the December quarter over the corresponding quarter of the previous fiscal. Revenue from operations grew 11% at 1,077.20 crore in the quarter under review from 967 crore in the same period of FY22. Trent Ltd reported a consolidated net profit of Rs 154.81 crore in the third quarter ended on December 31, 2022. Trent said in a regulatory filing. Tata Group retail firm, Trent Ltd on Wednesday reported a consolidated net profit of 154.81 crore in the third quarter against 113.78 crore year-on-year. Its revenue from operations was at 2,303.38 crore during the quarter under review compared to 1,499.08 crore in the third quarter of FY22. Trend's total expenses were at 2,189.62 crore. Shree Cement Ltd reported a 41.61% decline in consolidated net profit to 281.83 crore from 482.70 crore in the October-December quarter last fiscal due to an increase in input cost. Its revenue from operations was up 18.2% to 4,299.26 crore as against 3,637.11 crore in the year-ago period. During the quarter, Shree Cement total volume increased by 23% from 6,550,000 tons to 8,030,000 tons. Shree Cement's total expenses were at 4,085.28 crore, higher 30.47% in Q3 of FY23. Adani Wilmar reported net profit jumped 16% year-on-year to 246 crore for the October-December quarter, 2022, while consolidated revenue from operations grew 7% on year to 15,438 crore. Volumes grew by 16% to 1,470,000 ton. EBITDA jumped 20.2% year-on-year to 605.3 crore. Margins came expanded to 3.9% from 3.5% from the year-ago period. Adani firm increased its market share to 32% of castor oil exports from India. Samvardhana Motherson International Ltd reported a consolidated net profit from continuing operations at 500.73 crore in the December quarter, up from 225.95 year-on-year. Consolidated total revenue from continuing operations stood at 20,226.21 crore. It was at 16,117.51 crore a year ago. Total expenses were at 19,615.35 crore as against 15,903.78 crore in the year-ago period. Escorts Kubota Ltd posted a 6.7% decline year-on-year in consolidated net profit to 180.8 crore from 193.71 crore. Consolidated revenue from operations during the quarter under review stood at 2,291.35 crore as against 1,998.29 crore in the year-ago period. Total expenses were higher at 2,141.47 crore, up from 1,756.7 crore in the corresponding quarter a year ago. Air cooler and appliances maker Symphony on Wednesday reported 85.71% jump year-on-year in consolidated net profit at 39 crore from 21 crore. Revenue from operations rose 35.12% to 277 crore during the quarter under review against 205 crore in the year-ago period. Total expenses in the quarter were 243 crore, up 32.06% year-on-year. Adani Power reported a 96% fall in consolidated net profit at 9 crore for the December quarter compared with 218 crore in the corresponding quarter of last year. Revenue from operations surged 45% year-on-year to 7764 crore for the quarter under review, mainly due to greater regulatory claims, increased operating capacity, and improved tariff realization. The company's EBITDA was marginally lower year-on-year at 1,996 crore, constrained mainly by the impact of higher fuel costs. Achieved an average planned load factor of 42.1% and a power sale volume of 11,800,000,000 units as compared to a PLF of 41% and power sale volume of 10.6 BU in Q3 FY22. Despite analysts being bullish on bank stocks amid surge in credit demand, foreign institutional investors dumped financials worth over 15,200 crore last month. Nifty Bank, as a result, is down around 3.5% so far in the calendar year. Financials, which are also the top bet of FIIs in India, were among the most sold ones as well in January, shows NASDAQ data. In December, FIIs had invested around 2,600 crore in financials. The Adani Group plans to prepay a $500 million loan due next month to a group of banks to bolster its finances following a Hindenburg research attack. Barclays plc, Standard Chartered plc and Deutsche Bank AG are among banks that lent Adani $4.5 billion to finance the purchase of Holcim Limited cement assets last year. A portion of that loan is due March 9. An Adani spokesperson said the conglomerate had been in talks with banks to refinance that part of the loan but has decided to prepay it. 10 Adani Group companies at one point erased $117 billion from their combined market values in the sell-off, forcing the tycoon to top up his share pledges for loans. Group's stocks rose after its founders prepaid some debt and traders covered short positions. The flagship's shares rallied as much as 25% before finishing up nearly 15%. In this chart it shows how much each Adani Group listed company's share prices tanked due to Hindenburg Research report as on date. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe the channel and comment for detailed video on any topic.